welcome. My name's Kirsty, and I'm going to be taking you today through a gentle flow. It's going to be a little bit energizing, get the body moving and connecting to the breath. It should be a lot of fun. So we're going to get started. This is Abigail. She loves yoga too, but we're going to get started on our backs. So if you want to lay down and then bring the feet together, and we're going to open up into a reclined butterfly. So option is you can have blocks under your knees if you have blocks with you. We'll make it a little bit less intense. You can rest on the blocks, lay the head back. If you don't have blocks and it's too intense, just walk the feet away from the body a little bit, like so. That will also make it a little less intense. So find your comfortable position with your legs, and we can lift the arms up to the sky, twirl out the wrists, get out any energy, and then grabbing onto opposite elbows. Let's bring the hands overhead and just begin to melt into the ground. Letting go of anything you may be holding on to. Just take a big deep breath in together, filling the belly, and then let it go. So you can exhale through the mouth if you'd like. Just taking a moment to connect to your breath. Notice anything you may be feeling, and then let it go. Let's breathe in together through the nose and out through the nose for a 3-count breath. So breathing in for 3, 2, 1, and then exhale 3, 2, 1. One more time, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 3, 2, 1. If you'd like, you can take a moment here to set an intention for this class. I always set it in the present tense. It can be something as simple as I am here, I'm present. Just see what word comes to you. Take a moment to really zone in on that word, and then know that you already have it. You're going to slowly bring the knees up to the center line, and then you can hug them into your chest, massage your lower back, waking it up. And let's place the left foot on the ground and bring the right foot over and place the ankle on the lower thigh, keeping this foot flexed. And then gently, you can either stay here if this is enough for you, or you can lift up that left foot off the ground and keep that one flexed too. And then if you want to go a little bit further, you can gently place a little bit of pressure on your right thigh. Just opening up the hips here. Going as far as is comfortable for you. You should feel a nice stretch in your right hip. Let's bring the left foot back down to the ground if you have it up, and then switch sides. So lifting up the left foot this time and placing that on the right knee or above the right knee. And then you can either stay here, being mindful that that foot is flexed. And if you want to lift up, you can do that. And then even use your left hand for a little bit of a deeper stretch if you'd like. Making a little bit of space, giving yourself permission to feel and go a little bit deeper into your hips and into your breath. And slowly bring that foot down to the ground, both of them down. Then you can hug your knees into your chest And gently begin to rock back and forth this time, all the way up to seated position, and then we're going to come onto our knees for a few cats and cows together. So setting up correctly, let's place the hands under the shoulders, fingertips are wide apart, really grounding down firmly into your hands. Back is neutral, knees are under your hips. So moving through a few cats and cows, we're going to drop the belly, lift the chest, and inhale. Really fill out the lungs, and then exhale round and push through your hands into your upper back. Let all the air go out of your lungs. Inhale, cat, drop the belly, lift the chest. And then exhale, push into the upper back, rounding, letting out all the air. Inhale, drop the belly, lift up through the heart, and then exhale, release. Coming back to a neutral spine, grounding down firmly, finding your stable pressures on the ground. And then we're going to take the right foot back into the ground and just rock back and forth. Just gently waking up that calf. And then we're going to slowly lift that off the ground, keeping the foot flexed and the leg is very engaged and long. You can stay here if you want to take this a little further and play with this spinal balance. We're going to lift up onto our left fingertips, and if you have your balance here, you can send that arm forward like you're reaching long in front of you. You can stay here, or if you'd like to go into an aeroplane pose with me, you can take that right foot out to the side, keeping it flexed, opening up a little bit more through the hip, and then the left hand can go out to like an aeroplane. Imagine you're flying, and then come back through center line, stretching long, and then bring the hand back to the mat, and the knee follows. Let's send the left foot back. Wake up that calf by pushing into the ground with the toes. Rock back and forth, and then slowly lift up like you're moving through honey, very slowly. Keep that foot flexed. You can stay here or come up onto your right fingertips. Send the right hand in front. Stay here in this spinal balance, or if you want to open up into airplane, keeping the foot flexed, you'll send it out to the side, and the right hand goes out to the side too. Come back through center, stretch long. Inhale, and then exhale, bring the hand to the ground, and the knee follows. Let's sit back. We're going to open up take the knees out wide, toes come together, and then let's sit back for a child's pose. Coming back to your intention, back to your breath, sinking a little bit deeper into the ground, letting that forehead really rest on the ground, chest is falling towards the ground too. This is going to be your safe space throughout this practice. You're always welcome to come back to child's pose if you need to catch your breath or if anything gets too intense. This is where you'll want to go. Just find your breath again. It's also the perfect length for our down dog. So where your toes are right now and your hands are stretched in front of you, that's how far that you want them to be in down dog. So let's push up into down dog. Really ground down through those front hands first, like push them into the ground, and then push back for your first down dog. You can pedal out the feet, walk them out, waking up the legs. And then let's inhale, lift the heels and come up onto the toes. And exhale, push the heels closer to the mat. Eye gaze is between the feet. Legs are engaged, belly is tucked in, and hips are pulling back. Your shoulders are away from your ears and down your back. Externally rotate them away from your ears. And then really ground down through the hands and push into them. Let's come forward into a plank pose and then lower to chaturanga. And just lower all the way down for this first one. So coming onto your belly. Exhale. On an inhale, lift up halfway for cobra. Keeping the legs engaged. opening up through the chest and pulling back. Exhale, push back, down dog. Our gaze goes to the front of the mat. You can hop or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, push your hands into your shins and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Hands come back down to the mat for a forward fold. And then inhale all the way up. Let's rise. Hands meet at the top. Exhale, forward fold. Swan dive forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Stretching through the back of the legs. Exhale, step back for plank, and then lower to chaturanga. You can drop your knees here and take a cobra, or push up all the way into up dog with me on an inhale. Exhale, push back, down dog. So moving through a few more like that. Sorry, Namaskar A. Look to the front of your mat, step or hop to the front. Inhale, lift up halfway, lifting the chest and the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up all the way. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Let it all go. Inhale, pushing into your shins. Lifting your eye gaze. And then exhale, step back for plank, chaturanga, lower down. Take your variation of up dog or cobra. And then push back, down dog on an exhale. Look forward, hop or step to the front. Inhale up halfway. Lengthening through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up all the way. Hands meet in a prayer position. And then on an exhale, you can lower them down past your eyes, nose, mouth, and to center heart. Take a moment here to come back to your breath. Back to your intention. Really feel yourself rooting down through your feet, feeling stable and grounded. And then we're going to step out wide with your right foot, sending it to the back edge of the mat for a wide leg stretch. Hands go out wide too, like a starfish. Really open up, take up space. Allow yourself to. And then we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. And bending from the hips, we're going to shift forward. Bringing the weight to the toes a little bit. Bringing out the shoulders, letting them drop close to the ground. Taking a moment here to hang out. And then when you're ready, release the hands and gently bring them down onto the mat between the feet. Just bring the left hand to the center line of your body and then lift up with the right hand and inhale. Exhale, bring the right hand back down to the mat and then left hand lifts up, inhale. Exhale, back down, back to center line. Inhale, lift up halfway and lifting forward this time. Eye gaze goes to the front, in front of you, and then exhale, fold back down. Let's inhale, lift up again halfway forward. Bring your hands to your hips, put a deep bend in your knees, and lift up all the way, slowly. When you're feeling ready here, we'll open up into a warrior two. So towards your right. So have a 90-degree angle in your right leg. Make sure this knee is pulled back so you can see your front toes. And then we're going to open up with the arms long and straight like a warrior. Inhale. And then on an exhale, sink a little bit deeper, closer to the ground, into the hips. Eye gaze is over your fingertips. You can find your drishti. If you want to stay here in this warrior two, that's perfect. If you want to play with it a little bit with me, you can begin to lift that front heel up off the ground. And then flip your palms up and lift them up for a joyous warrior. Inhale. And then exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the hips. And smile. Feel how powerful you are here. And then exhale, Bring the hands back down for a regular warrior two. Drop the heel. Let's flip the front palm, straighten that right leg, and then send the hand overhead for a reverse triangle. Really stretching through the right side body. Should feel really great. Left hand slides down the left leg, stretching long from the right fingertips all the way to the right foot. Transitioning back through a warrior two, so bring a 90-degree angle to that front leg again. Open up your arms, and then we're going to go into a side angle. So bringing that elbow to the thigh, this hand is engaged and straight, and then your left hand sweeps in front of you and up and over and lands next to your ear, creating a long straight line on the left side body. Stretching long. You can stay here if you want to go a little bit deeper. There's always an option to drop your right fingertips to the ground. Just being mindful to keep the shoulder pulled back and the chest open if you go there. Let's windmill the arms down and transition into an easy lunge. So lift the back heel up. Inhale, lift up the chest, lift your eye gaze, and then exhale, push back for a down dog. Moving through vinyasa at your own pace. Let your breath be your guide. So we'll come forward to a plank and then lower to chaturanga on an exhale. Inhale, lift up to your choice, up dog or cobra. Exhale, push back, down dog. Our gaze goes to the front of your mat, hop or step forward. Lift up halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold down. And then inhale, let's rise all the way up. And hands come back down to center heart on an exhale. Catch your breath here for a moment. And then we're going to step out wide with the left foot this time. Hands go out wide too, really opening up. Stretching. Interlace the hands behind the back. Lift up through the chest on an inhale, and then exhale, bending at the hips. We'll fold forward. Toes are slightly internally rotated, and your weight can go into your toes a little bit more here. Bring out the shoulders, and then when you're ready, you can bring the hands down to the mat. This time we're going to take this pose a little bit more of a restorative way. So you can either stay here, or you can grab onto opposite shoulders and just let the head become heavy. Weight moves more into the balls of your feet, out of your heels. Let go of anything that you might still be holding on to. Give yourself permission to be here. Let's bring the hands back down to the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Lift your eye gaze and then put a deep bend in the knees. Hands come to the hips and slowly lift up all the way. Opening up into a warrior two on your left side this time. So rotating your left foot to the front of your mat, 90-degree angle on the left leg. Knee is pulled back so you can always see that big toe. And then you can open up strong with your warrior two arms. Eye gaze is over your left fingertips. Let's inhale and exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into the pose. Creating your strong, straight lines. Option to stay here or move with me into Victorious Warrior, lifting that front heel. Flip the front palm, both the palms up to the sky, and then lift up and feel that joy. Sinking a little bit deeper into the hips. And then bring the hands back down and the heel too. Really grounding down again. Let's flip the front palm, straighten the front leg. And send that left hand overhead and the right hand down the back leg. Reverse triangle. Moving through a warrior two again, putting a 90-degree angle back in that front leg. Open up with strong arms. And then into a side angle. So elbow comes to the thigh, hand is engaged. Right hand sweeps around and up next to the ear. Reaching long. You can always bring those left fingertips back down to the ground. Taking a little bit deeper, keeping the chest open. So windmill the hands down to the mat. Move into an easy lunge, so lifting that back heel. Inhale, lift up the chest. And then exhale, push back for down dog. You can take a child's pose here if you need a little bit of a break. Otherwise, move through a vinyasa at your own pace. So coming through to plank, lower to chaturanga on an exhale. Inhale, lift up dog or cobra. And then exhale, push back, down dog. Slowly begin. We'll all come back to down dog if you're in a child's pose now. And then we'll slowly begin to walk the hands to the back of the mat. Taking a little bit of a forward fold here, so you can have a soft bend in the knees. Let the head become heavy. And then one vertebrae at a time, we're going to slowly roll up like a rag doll. Letting the hands be heavy and the head too. Rolling all the way up really slowly. Coming to stand. Let's inhale, lift the hands up. Fingers meet. You can take a little baby back bend here if you'd like. And then exhale, bring them down to center heart. Finding our Tadasana, mountain pose. I'm going to turn to face you. So really grounding down through the feet. Your toes are slightly together. Heels are under your hips. Legs are engaged. You can send your shoulders up and back, down your back. Palms face forward. Standing up tall, tucking in your belly. Sitting up for a tree pose. So we're really going to ground down through that left foot. Like imagine it growing roots into the ground even. And then you can bring your right foot either to your ankle, your calf, or all the way up onto your thigh, keeping the right knee pulled back. Your standing leg is really important. You really want to make sure it's very engaged and pushing firmly into this foot. So you're pushing with this hip to the right. Once you're feeling stable here, you can bring your hands to prayer. Find your drishti on the floor. A spot on the ground in front of you that you can just stare at will help find the balance. And then when you're feeling ready, you can grow your branches up and open up into the beautiful tree. Feeling safe and secure and grounded, but at the same time being able to move in the wind. Let's bring the hands back down to center. Foot back down. Inhale, lift up all the way. Hands meet. And then exhale, come back down to center heart. Setting up for the other side. So grounding down firmly with the right foot this time. You can actually take your toes and spread them out wide. Really grounding down for a strong foundation. And then lifting the left foot up to the ankle, the calf, or above the knee onto the thigh. So you just don't want the foot on the knee. And then same thing on this side, really grounding down through this leg, pushing into the foot with it. Your left knee is pulled back. Hands come to center. Take a moment to find your balance. And then when you're feeling grounded, you can lift up your arms and make a beautiful pose of your choice. Taking a moment to feel how beautiful this pose is. And then we'll slowly bring the hands back down to center. Foot back down to the ground. Let's inhale with the hands coming up to prayer. You can take a baby back bend here if you'd like. And then we'll exhale, swan dive forward for a forward fold. Let's walk the hands to the front of the mat, coming into a down dog. Pushing firmly into the ground with those hands. Heels come closer to the ground. Notice how your down dog might feel a bit different now that we've been moving. And then we'll come all the way down into a child's pose. Forehead comes to the mat. Coming back to your breath. Back to your intention. All the hard work is done. We're just going to move through some relaxation and stretches now. Slowly begin to lift up. We can place the left hand in the center line of the body. Right hand lifts up. Inhale. And let's take a lazy thread the needle. So threading the right hand through. Bringing the right shoulder to the ground. You can use your left hand to push into the ground and find a sweet spot in that shoulder. You can also lift the left hand up to the sky. Just taking some time to find what feels good here for you. Let's bring the hand back down if you had it up. And then inhale up, lifting the right hand. Place the right hand on the ground on an exhale. And then inhale, lift up the left hand. And then thread it through, bringing the left shoulder to the ground. Finding the sweet spot on this side, it might be a little different. Just giving the shoulders a little stretch. And then lifting up with the left hand all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back down. Going to sit back and then roll over onto our backs. Setting up for a bridge pose. So slowly roll down, keeping the legs bent. Feet come in towards your hands. You might want to make your fingertips touch your heels. Really grounding down through your feet. And then slowly begin to lift your hips up to the sky, really pushing up high with the hips. You can imagine a block is between your legs, so you kind of want to be squeezing your knees a little bit close together. You can stay here. If you'd like, you can bring the hands together underneath, coming up onto the shoulders a little more. Or if you want to do something a bit more energizing and push up into wheel, now's your chance. It'll give you a bit more energy as the day goes on. And then slowly come back down one vertebra at a time from whichever variation you chose. Take the feet out wide to the outer edges of the mat, and then you can windshield wipe them. Let them knees fall to either side. Hug the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. And slowly rock back and forth, coming up to a seated position. Sending the legs out long in front of you. I'm going to set up for a seated tree. So similar to our standing tree, I'm going to bring the right leg in and place the foot on the inner thigh of the left leg. Letting the knee fall out to the side. So it's the same shape we had standing. Let's inhale, lift the hands up, stretch tall to the sky, and then exhale, place them on the ground, and slowly walk the fingertips forward, folding over that front leg. Your front leg is flexed like you're standing on the ground in front of you. If you need to have a soft bend in the knee, you can do that too. And then just take a moment to melt here. Wherever you are is perfect. Releasing and letting go. Slowly walk the hands back towards you. You can bring that right knee up to your chest, and then bring the right foot over onto the outer left thigh. Pushing down into the ground, you can hug it in towards you. Sit up tall and inhale. And then we're going to twist towards your right, bringing the right hand to the back of the mat and opening up through the chest on an exhale. Let's come back to center. Send that right foot out in front of you, and then bring the left leg in for a seated tree on the left side. So foot is to the inner thigh. Your right leg is really engaged and the toes are flexed. You can have a bend in the knee if you need to. We'll inhale, lift the hands up. And then exhale, walk the hands forward slowly, folding over that front leg. Then inhale, stretch a little longer. And on your exhale, you might find a little bit more space and acceptance here. Slowly walk the hands back towards you. Lifting up that left knee into your chest. Left foot goes over onto the outer edge of your right foot. Hug it in towards you. Sit up tall. Inhale. And then on an exhale, send the left hand back behind you and open up through the chest, sending the left shoulder back. And back through center, send the left leg out long. And then you can bend them both in towards you. Lift your hands up in front of you like you're grabbing onto a beach ball or something you really want, some love, abundance, whatever you need in your life, a little bit more of. Grab onto it firmly and hold it, and then roll back one vertebrae at a time, letting it fall over you. You're set up for either. You can take a sleeping tiger here. So keeping your hands up and lifted, you can lift the legs up. Let the hands and feet become floppy. And then if a shoulder stand is in your practice, you can move into that with me. Just doing whatever you like here, a little bit of an inversion before we relax. If you are doing a shoulder stand, just be very mindful not to look either side. So you really want to keep your neck straight. And you can transition into plow if you like, bringing the toes to the ground. And we'll slowly all meet back in a sleeping tiger, and then all the way down to find Shavasana. So bringing the legs and the hands down, feet fall to the outer edges of the mat, let the toes fall out, away from each other, palms face up. You can soften or close your eyes. Just take a moment to just really be here. Thank yourself for everything you've been able to do, for making time for yourself. And just connect to your breath again. Inhale and the exhale. The constant in your life. Take a few moments here to absorb all this great energy we've created, and I'll guide you back. Slowly begin to bring some awareness back to your body. You can wiggle the toes, slowly wiggle the fingers. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your right side. Before we all sit up and find Sukhasana, easy seat. You can keep the eyes soft or closed. Let's all inhale, lift the hands up to prayer position. And then exhale, slowly bring them down past your eyes, nose, mouth, and to center heart, bowing forward. The light in me loves, honors, and sees the light in you. And when you're in that place in you, and I'm in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. I hope this practice served you well and you're feeling energized and relaxed and a little bit more loose. If you enjoyed it, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, and then you'll get notified every time that I post a new class for you. And yeah, I hope you take this feeling into the rest of your day, week, and I'll see you again.